Okay. Says I'm live. So sorry I'm a minute or so late. The rat walked in right as I was getting ready to start, so I had to at least say hello. So yeah. So hi Gina, hi Dorothy, hey Amy. See who else? Mindy. Okay. Gina, you guys can just sit there and talk good about me all you want. Gina said I'm so good at so many things, Robert.
Do I?
Gina said I'm good at so many things. Don't you agree?
Yes. I have to agree with you.
Cooking is not one of them. Poor Robert. But we do good. What the hell? So yeah, today I'm going to end up doing Zentangle. I was going to watercolor, but I'm flexible. I don't care. I'm going to be here for 3 hours. So Mindy said, hey, Robert.
Huh?
Mindy said, hey, Robert.
Say hey.
Say hey. He had a good morning. He went over to the bank, and one of our friends that lives in Texas now, he is originally from here, but he lives in Texas now, and we used to see him in the winter when we'd go down. Well, he's here right now, and Robert just happened to run into his daughter, and so she said, get in the car, we got to go surprise Dad. So Robert had a good morning, out gallivanting around the country, because he had to go to the bank, which our bank is now 35 miles away. It's not like we can just run to the corner. We got to drive 35 miles to go to the bank. But it gives him something to do, keeps him out of trouble, so it's all good. And we should have people slowly coming in. My screen shows 16, so yeah. And Dee Dee was fun this morning. I love that illumination book she showed. I have it. Okay, here we go. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Sinwin. Kunuwin. Kunuwin. All right, I'm just going to call you Sin, okay? Or Ku. Hi, Jeannie. Or Jean. See, I never know which way to pronounce your name either. Ugh. But you know who I'm talking about. Hi, Jay with 4 kids. How about that? So yeah, over the weekend, what did I do? You guys, I'm behind on iCAD again. I had gotten all caught up. I had gotten all caught up. And then another day comes by, and I'm behind again. Hi, Colleen. Glad you're here. Yeah, so now I'm behind again. I don't know by how many days. Let me look. Yeah, just when you think you're all caught up, you're really never all caught up. It's like when you wash the kitchen floor and then Robert walks in the house. You thought the kitchen floor was clean? Well, tough. Your floor ain't clean no more. So let's see. I did brocade was, I think, the last one I did. So now I've got kite, chamomile, and dandelion left to do. So I'm 3 behind. That's not terrible. Oh, you're only, hi Janice, you're only up to 9? Okay, then I'm feeling better about my bad self. And this week's prompts are, let's see, I've got them written down in the beast. Let me yank the beast out here. Okay, so today is dandelion. Chamomile was last week. So this week's is dandelion. That's what I already have an idea for that. So that's going to be easy. Robot won't be bad, right? And I haven't done anything in the beast, so these are blank pages. Mustard yellow. Well, I could just take a picture of my beast because this kind of is mustard yellow now, right? A 6-word story. Hi, Galena. Hi, Kimberly. Tracy. So I found a new art supply that I'm hooked on. What is it, Galena? You can't just like and not tell us. It probably has something to do with pens, if I had to guess. And then pause. How are you going to do pause? I think I'm just going to draw a cat paw and pretend that I can't read. Hey, Dee Dee. Hi, CB. Pause, P-A-U-S-E. Not pause like cat paws, but pause, P-A-U-S-E. That's liquid graphite. Oh, I've never played with liquid graphite, Galena. That sounds interesting. Do you do it with a dip pen? Now I have to know. And then Birdhouse. Birdhouse will be an easy one. And Geode. So they're not horrible. What really, when I looked them up, I actually got the 2019 ones and started writing them down. And it was like, that's it. I'm done. I am done with iCAD because all the crap get on its stat. It's like watercolors with graphite. Oh, that's just what I need is another addiction. And this is just junk that collects in the beast. So, yeah. Oh. Anyway, I can hear Robert in the background, so they better not change our appointment for tomorrow. It's probably an old call. He's really dumb with his phone. Oh, man, I think they're changing our appointment. Oh, well, I can't pay attention to that right now. So, all right, let me flip through the iCAD since I'm talking about it. Do you guys think I'm a little distracted? I might be. Okay, here we've seen hopscotch, marigold, albums, sequins, 1980s. I like this one. I'm a fan of this one. Dreamcatcher. This one I kind of cheated because that I just printed off the computer, turned it into a postage stamp, and called it done. Hi, Joan. Anybody else I missed? This was Highway. I like this one too. This was, I didn't write it down. What the heck was it? It was Suzanne pattern. Bookshelf. David Bowie. I like this one. I like the background a lot on this one. Tiramisu, which that's watercolor, and I really, really had fun doing this one. The little tiny tiramisu in a postage stamp. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. This is brocade. And that's as far as I've gotten, you guys. Did they cancel us tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh! See, there was just no need to even go in the first place. Now, don't even get me started. But, okay, fine. We might still want to go. We're going to have to talk about that, okay?
Do what now?
We might still want to go.
Yeah, I don't
to
care.
Joplin just for the holiday.
No, that doesn't
Okay.
stop us from going.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Change it to July the 22nd.
What day of the week is that? Oh, wait. I'll
look.
look. Don't get, it's okay. It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday?
I don't like doing anything on Monday and Wednesday because that's Dee Dee days. Ugh. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Dee Dee days. They just, hi, Lori. Hi, Christy. So thanks, CB. I'm doing my best. I mean, Julie, I don't want to disappoint Julie, and she's the one who kind of said, you need to do this with me. So I was like, okay. So, but yeah. So now I may or may not go to Joplin tomorrow. I've been holding out on groceries to go, though. So anyway, Dee Dee mentioned in her stream this morning about my Zentangle book. Hi, Joan. You're dropping in to learn about Zentangle. Okay, well, I'm getting ready to do that. And I'll wait for Brooke to come in before I show the beast again. I don't even know how many years ago, you guys. It's been a long time. Many, many years. Oh my gosh, I really have to pull out to show this whole thing. This is just a 3-ring binder. And I started it. I don't even know how I came across Zentangle, but it's been many, many years ago. And there's something so intriguing about the designs, putting them all together, everything that absolutely sucked me in. So for, oh, I don't know, months and months, every evening I would get out my little cards and I would copy a few of the designs, and then I needed a way to organize them. Well, after you get a certain number, I originally started in a journal, and then I couldn't go back and find them by alphabet or anything. Hi, Kathy. So I ended up coming up with this system where I do it on ATC size cards, which are 2.5 by 3.5 baseball size cards, right? And this way I could organize them by alphabet. So let me just flip through here quick. Just some of the designs. And the front of this, it's just junk. It's just junk that I either drew. There's Eileen. Eileen, I was worried about you. Don't do that to me again, okay? Because you didn't show up at Dee Dee's this morning, and I didn't make it to streams yesterday, and I hadn't seen you in a few days, and I was like, oh my God, I hope she's okay. Don't do that to me, because I worry about you. So tweet me or do something, but don't let me worry about you. Hi, Holly. Okay, I'm done bitching at Eileen for a few minutes. And then these are just the Zentangle Pens, and yeah, so, and these are just some of the 2.5 by 3.5 inch cards with the designs already done. But there, I just love Zentangle. This one actually, CB, I learned from CB. She showed it, and it was just like, oh, I don't have that one. I got to get it. So, and I don't like the color ones. I don't know why, but the ones in color to me just aren't as much fun. Like, I like that pattern, but I just don't like the ones in color. They look pretend or something. Okay, well, you can do laundry and clean all you want, but you could at least let me know you're okay. That's all. Now I don't have to bitch at you anymore. Just let me know you're okay and we're good. And I like this brown one. Even though I'm not crazy about the color ones, I like the brown one. And you can, I mean, there are books out there, you guys, like, and I've drawn this forever. And this one actually is a Zentangle and has a name. But I remember doing that in school just to entertain myself. You like the black and white ones better too? Yeah, I do too, Gail. There's just something about the black and white, especially when you add the shading, and you'll see that because I'm going to go ahead and do some. When you add the shading, it's just like it pops off the page. It's just so different. Like this one, I love this one with all the checkerboard in the circles. I just love that. And I'm a fan of checkerboard, as you can tell by the beast. Checkerboard is one of my fallbacks. So these are just some that I've drawn. I like this one a lot. I think that's called Dragonair. I like this design a lot. If you can see, we're going to have a little bit of glare. But yeah, and then this is just a page of all the different random patterns. And then I also have them by grid patterns. And so when I made these pages, I went ahead and I made this little book. So it's like a art on the couch book where I just photocopied these pages, cut them down to 3-inch squares, and then made a book that has all the patterns in there, front and back. And then the pages fold up like this. And so there's how many of those pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 of those pages. And they fit in this little matchbook cover Zentangle book. So when I go away or something, if I want to take all my Zentangle patterns, they're in this little book. And I don't have to take my whole binder with me. I don't know what this is in there for, but we'll just keep it in there since that's where I decided it needed to be kept. That's why I can't find crap right there. There you go, Lori, I do. So yeah, and I made another one of these, and I think it was a giveaway, and it ended up going to Jen in Oz. So yeah. And then these you can do, you know, like borders with quotes and stuff. And so when I started doing that, I had this cute little journal, which I love cute little journals. They're like the little watercolor tins. If it's little and it fits in your hands, I'm all over it. Ah, thank you, Holly. So I just started this little book with some Zentangle patterns and added quotes to it. So, and these you could just sit on the couch, look up the quote, and then just draw the Zentangle. What are you going to do with this? Hell, I don't know. But it keeps me out of trouble. So, but there's some pretty good quotes in here, actually. I should have marked the ones that were funny. Like this one. I'll bet the YMCA dance is a lot harder to do in Chinese. Did you ever think about that? Hello? Most of them are pretty inspirational. This is one of the best quotes ever. It is better to remain silent. I need to learn this. Eileen, you need to learn this too. It is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open one's mouth and remove all doubt. I don't know if that's Mark Twain or who said that, but yeah. So we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails. Turn your face to the sun and the shadows fall behind you. That's a Mary Engelbreit son. I'm a huge Mary Engelbreit fan. Hi, Debbie Epps. What kind of cards am I using? They're just any old cardstock that I cut down. Color is my day-long obsession, joy, and torment. I should have written down who said this stuff. So it's just a fun little journal. It is better to have a rich soul than to be rich. This is my favorite quote of all times. And I think if you adopt this into your life, you will be a happy person no matter what. You think it's in Proverbs? Could be, Alyssa. Hi, by the way. Hi, Kenneth. There is always, always, always something to be thankful for. Adopt that attitude into your life, and I promise you, you will be a happy person. Be a thankful person, you turn happy. And this one too, it's never too late to be what you might have been. And most folks are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. That's Abraham Lincoln. And this is one of my very favorite designs of all time. Now this one I love in color. The snake one. I think we did this way back in elementary school is where the first time I did this. Of course, I wasn't quite as tidy then. I like this design a lot too. It's probably hard for you guys to see. Let me put something black behind there. We're getting almost to the end. The happiest people seem to be those who have no particular reason for being happy except that they are. And that's about where I stopped Zentangling. So I have a lot of book left to finish. Our life is what others' thoughts make it. Anyway, so yeah, little tiny baby journal that I just love. I think I have a lot of these spread around the house. So yeah. So this whole book is organized by alphabet. And if you go to, I got all of these off of tanglepatterns.com. No, I haven't. I'll show it here in a minute. Brooke, hi, by the way. So they're listed in there There's an alphabet thing across the top, and you just click on the A or the B, whatever, and it will take you to all the tangle patterns that start with that letter. These are created by just individuals who are inspired by things in nature, whether it's a fence, a window. I mean, they tell their little stories of what inspired them to create their patterns. So, and then they choose to upload them. And sometimes when you click on the directions for the tangle, it'll take you to somebody's blog or whatever. But yeah, and I obviously have some that I like better than others. But if I think it's something that I can draw quickly and make look nice, then it went in the book. This is by far not all the designs that are out there. There's a lot of them, but by far not all of them. So yeah, and that's what the whole book is. So if you've read or know anything about Zentangle, it's Richard and Maria Thomas, I believe, and I hope I'm saying that right. I should have gone and looked it up. But anyway, they started this whole thing, and people go and get to be certified Zentangle trainers, and they hold workshops. And for a while, it was huge, and there were books all over the place about it. And I am not a certified Zentangle trainer by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, I should have gone and looked. But the way they started this was that it would always remain black and white. Oh, Robert was here at the beginning. Yeah, he was here. That's why I was late, because Robert came in. So their idea was that this would be very relaxing, and it is. It is very relaxing when you have the repetitive patterns and you just do it over and over again. And a lot of people have like white page syndrome, where they get a white page in front of them and they just stop. They don't know where to begin. So the way they begin is take a pencil, and this is how I'm going to start mine. And then I'm going to take a little break here and show the beast. So if Brooke has other stuff to go get done, she gets to see the beast. So the way they recommend you start, so that you're not hindered by this blank sheet of white paper, is to just draw what they call a string, where you just begin drawing a line. Doesn't matter where it is, what it is. I'm going to come down here, get it in the corner. Okay. And so now I've got shapes on the page. No planning, no anything. My beginning is started, and they just call that the string. Now, you could, draw a letter or anything you want to start. But this gets you going. You don't have to be worried about where you're going to start. So that's where we're going to start here in just a minute. We've got that done. Okay, and then in addition to Zentangle, I think part of that whole thing was doing the dangles as well. And this is kind of the same thing, where you can just decorate your art with repetitive patterns hanging off. I love dangles too. And so you can combine the two. Put dangles on your Zentangle. Now I feel like I'm speaking some other language. Dangles on your Zentangle, right? Busted. Who's busted? Anyway, so I just wanted to show that. And we did these. We did a bunch of different initials, and I think I sent them out to everybody. I just picked somebody randomly from chat and do an initial for them. So that's always really fun too. But they're great places, so many of you in our chats, whether it's mine, Dee Dee's, anybody's, always say, I can't draw, I can't draw. You know what? You can. You can draw that heart with the leaves. You can draw more than you even think you can. I promise you. And then just like everything else, it's just the repetition. Show the beast so Brooke doesn't go nuts. Okay. Well, maybe we wanted to go nuts, Eileen. Maybe this little teaser here is just the best thing in the world. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to show that because to me, Zentangle and Dangles kind of go together because they're very repetitious and anybody, absolutely anybody can do them. So don't ever say, I can't draw, I can't do that. You can. Absolutely, you can. Okay. And then lots of you, and I showed it just a minute ago. Hi, Ian. Have heard about the Beast. And the Beast started out, I don't know, probably, I think I've got 2 of these. So that would be 2, 4, 5, probably 6 years ago. I started out with the idea of bullet journaling. And I started doing it their way. And then over the years, mine has morphed into something other than strictly bullet journaling or planning. I plan in here, I draw in here, I write down things I don't want to forget. I try not to do anything negative in the Beast. So if I'm troubled by something or if something pisses me off, I keep it out of the Beast. Okay? I don't, this is like a happy place. I don't want it to be a book that I pick up and go, oh my God, that's the day I was so pissed off. I don't want that. So, yeah, if I have something negative, I'm more inclined to write it on a separate piece of paper and then tear it up or throw it away or whatever. I don't keep negativity as much as I can in my book, in my life, anywhere. That's just kind of the rule. And it probably is the only rule for the Beast. I don't have to write in the Beast every day. I don't have to art in the Beast every day. If I have time and I want to do it, I do it. So because this Beast is so big, there's 300 sheets in this Beast, I think. So I use it for 2 years. So here in the center about is where I started 2020. So everything prior to here, this is all 1919. So I keep a year at a time in the Beast. And some days are going to be more decorated than others. I glue stuff in here. I use stickers. I watercolor. These are drawings. That's a stamp. This is a drawing. I always write down when I stream and what I stream. I use new products in here. Ooh, Eileen, this is when I was binging the Harry Kubert affair. I want to watch that again. The Beast will not be tamed. Nope. And I called it The Beast because it's so damn big. It's just a big book. And then I finished reading Loser Think that day, Scott Adams' book. It's a great book. Read it if you want to figure out how you can think better. It's not necessarily helped me yet, but I'm working on it. Yeah, so just little drawings, stamps. If I see something that inspires me, more often than not, I'm going to put it in the Beast. So I can go back later. And I keep lists in the back. Here, lists back here. This is my cleaning schedule, which I don't write on the individual pages because by now I kind of have it memorized. I know what every day is. But I swatch in here, use new products. You always need a page for pen testing. And then there's some other lists. Yeah, like stuff that I want to draw, stuff that I want to watch. So, yeah. So it's like an everything in one place book. October is always going to be really, really empty because I do Inktober. And by the time I get Inktober done, I'm done. Like, that's it. Nothing else is going to happen in October. That was all Roxy. So, and sometimes I'd go back and do these pages again. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, moving on. But I don't know. I think a Beast is a good thing for anybody. Just to, there's no pressure. When I work in the Beast, There is no pressure at all. Just whatever happens in the beast happens, and I'm okay with it. But I do draw a lot in here. Look at weekend to hide from city freaks. Eileen made me do trash art that day. So what kind of book is it? The manufacturer of the book is McGill Ruiz, and I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's MIQUELRIUS. I got my first ones at Barnes and Noble, but you can get them on Amazon now. They're just more expensive on Amazon. They're $10 at Barnes and Noble. So for $10 for 2 years of sheer fun, yeah. And then here we had something. It seems like we were doing prompts. See, back here, I know we were doing prompts. Like all of these. Let me see. I know it's the beginning of the year. Yeah, these were all prompts that we were doing back here. We did the Eiffel Tower, eggs, egret, elephant. So, yeah. So this was just like 10-minute drawings is about what they were. You don't journal as you keep forgetting to do it. Well, write it down in your journal, Dorothy. So, yeah. So there you go. That's the beast. And the supplies I use in the beast are my lettering guide. This is just a handmade lettering guide. Let me see where the a stiff piece of acetate with 2 cutouts in it. Let me see which size they are. I know the top one is 1/8 of an inch, and the bottom one is about 3/16. So then my lettering is always really nice. It makes me feel comfortable. Yeah. So this is one supply that never leaves the beast. And then this, so I can draw squares and circles. This also never leaves the beast. And this, I think, is just a duplicate of an eraser shield that I had. Or a template. I don't know. I don't know where the original went. And then these are just notes that I keep. A little bit of watercolor paper. This is the beginning of my next iCAD that I'm not. Oh, and then those are some watercolors that I want to order. So, yeah. And then just stencils. I've been using this one because that's what I'm drawing the iCAD boxes in with. So that's the beast. I would recommend oh, and see, here's some Zentangle in here. So I do Zentangle in the beast as well. There, finally. So for a few days, I was just Zentangling like a freak, probably because I didn't know what else I wanted to do. I like this one. I like this one a lot. And if I get new stamps, I always try them first in the beast. And now I am putting like little samples of my iCads in here. So those are just photocopies that I just cut up and slap down. So now Brooke got her beast fixed. And let me tell you something, what happened this morning. What is that yellow ruler? The yellow ruler is actually, it's a type gauge, and I was in printing all my life. It's not what I went to school for, but it's what I ended up doing to make green money. And so most of you, well, all of you by now, are familiar with type size because of doing word processing on your computer, right? Well, before that, we used to have to determine type size to send something to a typesetter, right? And so this is the tool that I use to determine type size. So it's like on one side, it's got pica, and then 4.5 point, 5.5 point, 7.8, all the way up to 15 point type. So it's just a way to measure type, either space to put type in, or if they had a sample of type, I could just measure it, and then I didn't, it was just a way to determine what size type is. I've had it for, I don't know, 20 years or more, but I use it a lot. I like it because of all the different size measurements, right? But then this morning, I'm sitting here and I hear this little tap, 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 tap on my door, and I go answer the door, and here's my neighbor, Amy. And look at what she brought me. This is a baby beast. Look at it. Baby beast. Baby beast. I got it. It's in the house. It's lined, which is fine. It's the exact same overall size as the beast, but this is a baby beast. I have it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the baby beast to start, but I'm a happy girl because I own this. So Amy's always thoughtful, generous, kind, just any good word, I could put it with Amy. Really. The baby beast, right? And these she got on Amazon, and I don't know if they're still on sale, but they were on sale last week for $5. But they're a third of the size of the regular beast. And I don't know if you can get them in different papers or anything like that. This is lined, and that's fine with me. Amy and Lane are both. CB, you're so right. They're so good to us. They are. And I hate to say something good about Lane because he might be down at Amy's house listening. Tell him I didn't mean it, Amy. So yeah, this is the baby beast. So who knows? You might be seeing more of the baby beast coming soon. And then what else was I going to show today? The baby beast. Showed iCads. What else is here? The book. Oh, the other thing is, look what's in the house. Facial expressions. When Dee Dee showed this, Kenny sent this to Dee Dee. And Dee Dee, I think, well, I don't know. I think Kathy Arbor showed this originally. Dee Dee ended up with it. And I had gone on Amazon and put it in my save for later. He's not here. Thanks, Amy. It's a faux leather cover, Ian. It feels really good. The covers on the McGill Ruiz, they feel really good. They're not leather, but they're substantial and they're flexible and they hold up to wear and tear beautifully. So, because this one, I mean, I've been hauling it around for 1.5 years, and it looks like pretty much brand new. So they hold up really, really well. This book would be fun to cut up, but Kenny is so thoughtful. Kenny is just a genuinely good person. She's just as nice and as generous as she can be as well. She sent me the facial expressions. So she told me something was coming on Wednesday, had no clue what it was, and I opened it up, and here's the facial expression book. It's just so cool. And the people who agreed to be part of this book, they have to, every one of them, be a good egg because they're so expressive. Like, yeah, it's just their faces are so expressive. And I want to find the part of the book. And it's just different people making different expressions. But you can kind of like, look at this one. Here's like a earthworm. That's what makes me think of an earthworm. But you can tell that it's probably that pose. Whoever the artist was, this artist is Travis Blaze. This expression it turned into this earthworm. This gorilla was this. Now, this woman has to be a ton of fun. This is a woman that you want to get drunk with, I promise you. Or you want to go shopping with, or go out in public places so you could embarrass each other. You know? And then this one, let's see, which expression is it? But you just, like, I could go through here on these cartoon characters and pick out, look at her. This woman too. These women just got to be fun. Anybody who would do this just for laughs, that is my kind of person. So there's different artists that have shown their work in here. Let's see, Mark Simon put it all together. But yeah, like, it's so useful. And I loved it when Dee Dee showed it originally, but after I got to sit down and look through it, like, if you can't find an angle or an expression in this book, there's something wrong with you. For real. I wish I'd been one of these people. For real. So I haven't actually drawn out of it yet, because this weekend I was drawing some art for upcoming watercolors. And Eileen, you dodged a bullet today, because I was going to watercolor, but then Kathy Berg said, oh, Zentangle. It is a way cool book, right, Kenneth? Turtle. Yeah, it is. It's just, it's fun and funny. I have no idea how much Kenny paid for it. It came via Amazon. I love Amazon. But you don't have to draw the people. I mean, I think a lot of it's just getting the angle of the head, the proportions correct and stuff like that. So yeah, I will be definitely sitting down, because I still want to make my own character like Lena's wise aunt. So yeah, with this book, I should be able to come up with a character that can do almost anything. I don't want her to be a superhero. Well, I don't even know if I want it to be a her. Thank goodness, no watercoloring. But let me show you, Eileen. This is what you missed. And I may wait and do it next Monday, so you'll have something to look forward to. Out of this book, Watercolor Making Your Mark, Carolyn Holman, I don't know. But this is one of the nicest watercolor books that I don't know I've ever seen. And I've done a couple things out of it. You guys have seen some of them. But this is the watercolor that you missed, Eileen. I have it all sketched out on Arches paper. The sketch is there. Look at, wouldn't that have been fun, Eileen? I just love it. I love the colors. There's nothing about that I don't love. And that's true of pretty much everything in this book. And then another one, this is the other one. I drew it again. And I'm gonna, my character will be a 12-year-old boy, Dee Dee. Yeah, so we can talk about kind of nasty stuff and laugh about it. Yeah. But I'm gonna do this one again. It has a home already, but I'll also be able to test my progress, because you guys were here when I did this one originally. So I went ahead and drew it out as well. And sometime this week, maybe tomorrow if I don't have to go to Joplin, I'm going to do this painting again. So I'll take a photo of it and put it up on Instagram, but I won't make you sit through this again. Lena's wise aunt is a force of her own. Exactly, Ian. You know, she had to take that video down. That is just so wrong. So wrong. Don't even get me started about how wrong that is. But anyway, let's Zentangle, because we can. And I thought today I would use my platinum carbon ink pen. Awesome pen. The ink is permanent. If you buy the platinum carbon ink, it's permanent, no smudge, and it dries fast, and I love it. So yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to bring you guys down where you can see really good. Somebody throw out, and I think the way I'll do it is you guys throw out a letter of the alphabet, and I'll go to that section of the book and pick out a pattern. So, and Lena, if you're lurking, I miss you. Thank you. What did Ian say? Chat rolled up and I missed it. Oh no, it was Kenneth. Do those flowers sometime. I don't always get to watch you live, but I do watch. Oh, thanks, Kenneth. Yeah, I will definitely be watercoloring on stream. Today I thought it would be fun just to kind of hack Eileen off, but yeah, now I'm not going to. Okay, the first one was P. All right, we're going to go to P in the alphabet. And we'll look. Pandora is really a fun pattern that anybody can learn to do because it's just straight lines. And I won't use a ruler today. Sometimes I would like to use a ruler, but Eileen hates that, so I won't. Parasails is good. And then I do this actual step outs. I like the plantain. This one's really a good one. So you can kind of see how you build the pattern. So you don't have to remember how to do it. It just, yeah. That one's a good one. Let's do plantain. We're still going to look and see what else. If I have to do a good pattern, Eileen, I'm going to use a ruler. You'll just have to get over it. This is film, spelled P-H-Y-L-M. Pepper is a fun one. Plaid. Oh, there's so many good P ones. Pokeroot is good. Ew, it's so hard. Let's do plantain, though. Ooh, perk is fun, too. Oh, I think I just changed my mind. Look at peacock. Anybody can do this. You guys can draw along with me. Let's do peacock. And we'll do outside. Okay, we're doing peacock. That's it. And then I'll go back and put these cards in later. So we're going to do peacock because look how simple that is. You guys could do that with me, right? Get out a piece of paper. Hi, Judy. Anybody I might have missed? Hi, Tanya. I don't think I said hi to you. All right, so here we go. We're going to start here and do the outside of this with peacock. Okay, I might want to pull you in closer so you can see what I'm doing. Yep. Hang on. Got to get my pen wanting to work. It worked just a minute ago, so I know it works. And if this pen starts giving me a headache, I will get a different pen. And it may not like this paper. I hadn't thought about that. I think the pen is not going to like the paper. And I think there's two ways I could have actually done this. Hi, Kangaroo. Because I could have also, well, too late now. I'm going to do several of these all the way around. So hopefully you won't get bored watching it. And just let it go off the page. And just envision where it would pick up again. That's all I do. And then in between there, if you wanted, you could go ahead and add another pattern. This one I'm going to do different because I don't have the top to work from. So hopefully I'm doing this right. Now the pen has decided it wants to write, so that makes me happy. And this is just the shape of a leaf, so they don't all have to be uniform or anything like that. But I'll show you the fun part. And I normally wouldn't do the shading until closer to the end. But after I get these drawn, we'll add some shading because that's when it starts getting fun. And can you guys see okay? See, and I get quiet when I do stuff like this. So you guys talk among yourselves in chat. And if you're talking to me, put it in caps. And I'll try and remember to look over and chat with you guys occasionally. And after you kind of get the rhythm, and I think this is why it's so relaxing, is after you kind of get a rhythm, and I guess I get like this when I'm drawing anything really. When I kind of get the picture in my head, it just goes fast. It just, time disappears really. Sometimes you have to think backwards. Sometimes that's not a good thing. Dee Dee said she was going to keep putting together her Jane Davenport book while I did this stuff. What you have to do, Dee Dee, is now that you've deconstructed that book, the next time you need to work in it. Okay, so there's like the original design. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that one. But now I'm going to go ahead and shade. Oh, I need to finish the design. I did the first two. Now I'm going to go back and add the detail. I actually like that idea of Dee Dee's, like for a swatch book. I'm halfway tempted to do something like that myself. I think in pencil first. Ink is not. Could you use any pen? Yeah, Tracy. Any pen. Any pen will work. I tend to use permanent ink, but just because I've learned the hard way that if I was going to go in here and add watercolor or something later, I don't want to ruin it because a lot of inks will smear. So I tend to, when I buy inks or when I buy pens, I look for permanent ink. And in the Beast that I just showed, my favorite pen for the Beast is this Hybrid Technica. They come in different size nibs. I use the 03. It comes in a 05 and a 07, I believe. That is not permanent the day you write with it, but if you let it sit a day or two, it doesn't smear that much. So it's a gel pen with permanent ink. And then Amy the other day was down here and she showed me. Is that good? Are you happy with that?
It's much more than I was charging.
Good boy. You could buy me nice stuff, Robert.
I would do that.
Okay. Robert's going to buy me nice stuff. You might get to see Big Brother and Family this week. Well, good for you, Dorothy. Tanya, it's okay. Honestly, do not be hard on yourself. Keep going. Just keep going. After you get the rhythm, things will just start settling in. So don't be hard on yourself. Mine probably looks very uniform, but it's not. So yeah, talking about the pens, I'm kind of a pen holic. It's so Robert, just make all the noise you want because we're only live streaming here, and these people love hearing you make noise in the background. It's why they come.
Yeah.
What's wrong with him? So yeah, don't be hard on yourself. And as far as pens, the pens that I used to use most of the time were these Micron pens, and they're felt nibs. These work awesome, and they're permanent, and they're fade proof. So if you have any of these Microns, they're awesome. Awesome. Any of the permanent ones with a felt nib. But I'll use a roller ball as well. And what I started saying, Amy was here the other day and she showed me, oh, I think I took it out to the couch. But you can get one of these Energel pens with permanent ink. And I actually had one and didn't know it. I don't remember. I took it out to the couch. Doggone it. Anyway, so I was really happy when she pointed that out to me because that was like bonus. I didn't even know that I had it. It's why ET comes. You didn't even hear Robert? How could you not hear Robert? Oh my God. It sounded like you know the noise that your ice maker makes when it dumps? That's what it sounded like 5 feet from me. I can't believe you couldn't hear it. He's gone now. Okay, so anyway, we've got this done, this much of it. I'll go ahead and do the shading. And all I'm going to do is shade because I want these leaves to look like they're curving into that initial line I made. So I'll just draw. And this is just any old regular. This happens to be a Mary Engelbreit pencil. Number 2 with a monkey eraser. How could you not love that? Huh? And then the one thing some of you may not have, but you can buy them, they're really, really cheap, is when you want to smear this pencil, get a soft lead pencil. You don't want a hard lead, but a 2 HB is about the perfect hardness for smearing. And right now you can't really see what I'm doing because I'm staying real close to that initial line that I drew. But when I start smearing it, you'll go, wow, now I can see the shading. And to me, it's the shading that makes it totally awesome. So if you have a tortillon, you can order these. I know they sell them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any place where they sell drawing supplies, they will sell these little tortillons. What else are they called? Monkey eraser. Yep. Hey, the monkey has a friend. Can you believe it? And then both of the monkeys that sit here and keep me company during the day, they have a pet, which is a koala bear. Yeah, you could use Rapidograph. The problem with the Rapidograph pens is the maintenance on them. You've got to use them or they dry up. And so they're a headache. I actually have one here that needs cleaning right now. Oh, I already put it over there to be cleaned. So, but yeah, the Rapidographs, the problem with them is they dry up. So just buy an inexpensive pen, throwaway pen. Because if it becomes a hassle, you won't want to do it. So I do live in a strange world. And actually, CB, some of the strange things that are sitting around here, you sent me. Like this. Do you remember sending me that? Now, I don't let her get near the monkeys and the koala bears, but she sits over here and guards the postage stamps. You should take a tour of my room sometime. It's a crazy place. So now I'm going to go ahead and smear the graphite. And it just gives it some dimension. It stops being flat on the page now. Actually, the koala bear we got in Oz, CB. I think I remember it was in Sydney, down at by the Queen's Building. My hubby says the word achoo when he sneezes. I hear he waits and it is fun. Does anybody else have moose poop in a tin can in their art room? I do. And I have monkey butt powder in my art room. It's not just your ordinary space over here. I'm sentimental that way, though, you guys. Like the monkey butt powder, it will be here until literally the day I die. Eileen sent it to me. Okay, can you see how that started getting some dimension now? To me, those look like dragon heads. You have a few oddities at your house too. Somehow that doesn't surprise me, CB. But how could I not keep the monkey butt powder in my house? Huh? Huh? And when the monkeys at the end of my pencils misbehave, I threaten them. You want me to get the monkey butt powder out? They just found that pilot crashed in the North Sea. That's for later, Dorothy. I can't deal with that. So there you go. There's the P. Pick out another. And I'm not sure what I'll do around it yet. I eventually will do something, and I may or may not get this whole thing done today. Give me an alphabet. A letter out of the alphabet. It's anti-monkey butt powder. Yeah. We're going to go on to another letter of the alphabet. Eileen said E. She always says E because it's her initial. Let's see if we like anything in the E section. This way you guys can kind of see what's around. Oh, the E's is kind of fun, isn't it? Ooh, Elish is fun too, but I think that one's a little complicated. This Echo S. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Okay, Janice said N. I always like this one. I and hook. The eyelet and the ribbon is really fun too. I'm kind of tempted to do that so you guys could try to draw it. And it's another kind of border one. Let's do eyelet and ribbon, and then I'll do N next. Let's do that one so you guys can learn how to draw an eyelet and a ribbon. And then let's see, Janice said N, so I'll go get an N right now. So we've got a couple of patterns already picked out. There aren't many N. Okay, I've already picked it out because anybody could do this one too. I'm going to try and do simple patterns that anybody in the audience can do with me. So you don't, it's not a struggle or anything else. So here, let's do the eyelet pattern. I'll let you look at the sequence of what we're going to do. And these two down here, these are variations of the same pattern. So you can do it with more dots and make it look lacier or less, but they're variations of the same pattern. So let's do this. We're going to go the other side of the drawing because this is kind of how I like doing it, is drawing different areas rather than just going down the page. But you do it however you want to do it. The eyelet and ribbon. What was the website? The website is tanglepatterns.com. We'll have all of these designs on there, and literally you can spend a lifetime. But what I did was I picked out 3 or 4 a night and just drew the cards. So, and it's not, the camera is not wanting to focus. You freak. Where did focus you freak go? There we go. That's the way we'll do this. And focus you freak is upside down. So that's a pretend focus you freak. All right. So we'll go ahead and I'll just do this outer section with the eyelet and the ribbon. So just draw the little rectangles. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be the same size. It doesn't matter. And you can do them in a curve. The bigger and wider apart they are, obviously, the bigger your ribbon is going to be, right? So I'm just kind of drawing this to the scale of that section of the drawing. But I could draw it bigger as well. Just whatever you want. It's your deal, man. CB, did you ever finish all your patterns? You had some really cool ones that you showed me that I didn't have. Okay, so when you get your little rectangles drawn, at the end, okay, I'll go back to the beginning. Now this is a real oddity about me. I have to go back to the beginning where I started. Okay, at the end, each end of your little square, you're going to draw like a C, a little hump up there, and that's a backward C. And then color them in. So, or just draw a little half circle on the ends, so it makes it look like that's where the lace is going through. No, sad to say you need to do that. I know it kind of comes in waves, right, CB? That's kind of how I did it too. So probably just say half circles at the end of each of these to make it look like an opening. And that actual, if you think about that, you could use that in so many different ways. Now I have to decide if we're going to Joplin tomorrow or if I just drive into Grove and buy some groceries close by. I hate when they change our appointment. Last time they did that, they didn't change it on their end. And so they called Robert and said, you missed your appointment. And it was like, no, our appointment is tomorrow. You called and changed it. That's how we got so screwed up with this appointment, is because they goofed up. And it's all money grubbing anyway. So there you go. And I do, like when I'm drawing these, I do all the parts like this. All at once. Like I drew all the little boxes first. Now I'm drawing all the little circles first. You don't have to do it that way. I just do it. It tends to make it more uniform, I think. Of course, if you look at this, this is not uniform, boys and girls. But we're not going to worry about that. Because at the end, when you're done, you'll never see the imperfections, I promise you. You'll never see them. And if anybody's looking that close, they need to go figure out something to do with their life. They got too much time on their hands. Okay, so there, all the openings are done. Okay, now if you look, this one, it has like a small hump and then a big hump, small hump, big hump. This one has just hump, 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 hump. So you get to decide at this point which kind of lace you want. I'm just going to do the hump, 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 hump with all the little dots because that to me looks more like the eyelet and ribbon that I'm used to. Sorry, I thought you guys could see it better. Have you seen Peter Draw's channel? Yes, Ian, I have. I subscribe to Peter Draw's. Zoom in a bit. Sure, Pink Hut. Hi, by the way. Yes, I do watch Peter Draw's. I watch Mark Criley. Yeah, I watch a lot of drawing channels. Watching people draw, to me, is very relaxing. Well, Tracy, do it. The bottom of a sneaker. I guess you could call it that too. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead, start back at the beginning because you have to do that. And then I'm going to draw my humps from the middle of the box to the middle of the space. And that's how I'll keep it somewhat uniform. So all the humps won't necessarily be the same size, especially here where I'm turning the corner, but it won't matter. And the only thing I'm probably paying attention to at this point is that I'm keeping the ribbon line about the same distance away on either side. But I don't even think you'll notice if I didn't do that. But did you see how that curve happened just because as the curve went around, I didn't have the room. And so now it's going to look like that ribbon is curving. I didn't plan that. The design itself just made that happen. So that's pretty cool, right? Have Sweet Robert step on the paper and call it done. I could just go probably put the paper on the kitchen floor and get a actual print of his footprint, Eileen, because that's what it's like living with Robert Vaughn. Now I'm just going to add the dots. I like dots. Eileen would much rather I was throwing paint at something. Some of these I won't have many dots. Some I might have more depending on the size of the hump, right? So just do whatever fits. Doesn't matter. And actually, something I should have planned probably for today was my June folder. I still don't have a June folder for my art. But iCads are going to go in, so I don't know, maybe I'll blow off June. We're already halfway into the month. Time is flying, man. 4th of July is going to be here before we know it. And I didn't actually shade. And I guess one thing I should mention too, like on this one where the string is going right through the design, before you shade, make sure you erase that. Yeah. So I'm going to take a second real quick and find my handy. I'm not going to use the monkey eraser. I'm going to use my white eraser because I don't want to leave marks on my paper. So this eraser I trust. That red one, I don't trust not to leave a mark. So okay, and the way I would shade this one is where the ribbon goes in, you know, in and out, in and out. You'd get a little bit of shadow every place it dunks under the lace. So I'm just going to go ahead and shade it there. You guys see okay? And I'll go ahead and shade here on the edge of the lace itself. So it looks like it's tucking into whatever's there. And I sometimes even go back and add like white dots as well. If I didn't leave it when I drew it, I'll go back with a white pen and add the highlights later. Okay, now you guys can draw lacy ribbon. Is Brooke out of here? We'll see you later, Brooke. Come on, focus, you freak. There we go. You can kind of see the shading. And you can see how mine is not perfect. But when this drawing is done, you'll never notice that in a million years. Nippa, I don't know. I'll leave that. Oh, that was the next one I picked out, right? Yeah, we did Eileen. She picked that. All right, so it was Nippa that I was going to draw. Let's pick a space for Nippa. And on this one, I'm going to, I don't think it's cheating. Some people might think it's cheating, but to make the perfect circles, and you don't have to make the perfect circles. It's just that I'm anal enough that I want perfect circles. That's that. You made a blending tool. Well, Pink Hut, if it works, you get on it, bad girl. All right, so Nippa is really easy. It's just a bunch of circles with some curvy lines behind it, and then I'll add some shading, and let's see where this can go. And I just pulled out my circle template. If you don't have one of these, I'm going to tell you that a circle template is probably one of the best tools you can own. I'm just drawing on really cheap Walmart cardstock. I think Georgia Pacific makes it for just drawing or making ATCs or something like that. It's inexpensive. It's readily available. Nothing special about it. Probably maybe 90 pound. But you can Zentangle literally on anything. So don't think that you have to have a special paper or anything like that. You don't. All right, let's do the circles right here in the middle. And you know what? I'm going to switch out the pen for this because fountain pens don't necessarily work well with templates. So let me see. I'm going to yank out a... This is a 05. That's a little big. 08 is definitely going to be big. I have too many of these darn pens. Let's see about a 03 is good. Hopefully it's going to write. I was just telling Amy a little while ago, I've got too many of these damn pens that don't write. Yep, this is a good one. So just draw different size circles. Some big, some small, anywhere. Just draw circles. Some are going to be colored in, some are not. And I don't know how I'm deciding what circles to draw. I'm just drawing circles. And do draw some of them going off the edge. That's kind of a rule of art. I'm not making them too big. Keep them somewhat small. All right, a couple more and we're going to call it a day. Or call it done for this particular design. And then pick a few. Another one right down here. Okay, just a bunch of circles randomly placed. Now I'm going to pick out a few here and there and just color them in. So you want some empty, some colored in. Anybody can do this. But one thing I would definitely say is get a circle template. You will use it so many ways. And I don't think it's cheating because I don't care how long you practice and do it over and over and over. You're never going to draw a perfect circle. So why even try? Just get the damn template and make the circle. You got more stuff to do in life than that, right? And they're cheap. You can buy these anywhere. They're cheap. Yeah, just get yourself one. You'll thank yourself later. All right. That's probably enough colored in ones. Now, one thing I do try and always do, like I use this pen to do the template, but I do try and use the same pen so that the width of my lines or the weight of my lines are pretty consistent. Now, that is one thing I do, and I think it's, like to color in an area, yeah, use a bigger nib pen, but for your line weight, try and keep it consistent. I think your drawing will end up just looking better if you do that. And this time I'm drawing the outline of where my lines are going to begin and end. So sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. But in this case, I'm going to. You need to get one so you can make your own crochet hooks. Make your own crochet hooks. Okay, now this one, it's just wavy lines in the background. So I'm going to start in the middle. And then everything around it is pretty much just echoing that line. And that's what they call it when you draw a line very close to another line. They call it echoing. Doesn't have to be perfect. And it might be more interesting if you don't echo perfectly. So some of mine will be closer together, some will be further apart. So it's not just the same design throughout the whole thing. This does look like amoebas or something. Got quiet in here. And I would say if you're just starting, pick some simple patterns and do some, and then let them sit for a couple of days and come back to them. And I think where you were really critical with yourself in the beginning, you'll stop doing that. You'll just look at it and go, well, that's kind of cool. I like that. And if you wanted on this pattern, you could go ahead and do checkerboard if you wanted. Like, I would say go ahead and alter the patterns as well and do whatever you want to do. One of the ones that I will do is island flowers, because that one's really a cool design and anybody can do it. I'm going to color that one in because I made a mistake. Okay. So that looks crazy, right? I have a fountain pen I keep a bulletproof black ink in. Wonder how that ink compares with the carbon ink regarding. Is that a word? I think not. Waterproofness? Yeah, I would say that is a word, Gina. I would hand carve them out of wood. Degree of water resistance. I don't know which ink you're using, but the platinum carbon is, I mean, it is almost bulletproof as well. So they make some really, really good bleed proof, fade proof inks. So if you've got one you like, I would say you don't necessarily need to buy the platinum carbon, but I do like it. But Noodlers also makes a great waterproof ink. So just test it and see. If you want, I'll test this ink here in a little while. But I know from experience that it is absolutely waterproof. So, but inks are funny things, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and shade and make this look like it's really recessed from whatever else I put around it. Any ink, if you try and smear it immediately after you write with it, is probably not going to be as waterproof as you want. Any ink, give it a chance to dry and settle into the paper a little bit. And I think you'll be a lot happier with it. This, though, the Noodlers and this ink, you don't have to give it long. It pretty much stays waterproof. And if you watercolor or anything like that, you want to know which of your inks are absolutely waterproof. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and shade around the circles a little bit so they look like they're popping out from behind the lines. And when you smear the graphite, the shininess kind of goes away. So if that shininess of the graphite is annoying to you, that does go away. And I could go ahead and like shade those in where they actually look like spheres rather than just circles sitting in there. I mean, you don't have to stop here. Just think of anything. I think coloring in circles and turning them into spheres is great practice for anything, whether you're drawing a face, a vase, anything. You know, when you start adding that shading and getting its dimension, that helps you in any number of ways. If you want to improve your drawing, a lot of people probably don't care. I love drawing, so it's all good for me. That facial expressions book is so excellent. I will use that over and over and over again. And when I went in to look for that dangle book today, I hadn't been in there looking at books because I've gotten so many new ones lately that I hadn't gone and looked at my old ones. And I thought, man, I've got a lot of good books that I need to get out and play with. And I'm sure we're all kind of in that same boat, right? Who needs more than one pen? Amy, you and I should not talk about number of pens. Amy just brought down, she bought a, explain it in chat, Amy, but it's a Twisby clear with aqua accents. And it looks really, really industrial. Oh, God, it's so desirable worthy. And it's Amy's birthday coming up on the 20th, you guys. So if you feel like saying happy birthday, now would be a good time to do it because she's having a birthday. Haven't decided what special thing I'm going to do for her, but it'll be something. And then her husband's, I think, is the 28th. So chances are we'll have to go out to eat or something. Okay, now didn't the shading make that look so much better? Now, I think what I'll do is I'll take my white pen. Oops. My white pen may not work because I didn't put the lid back on. Oh, I hate when I do that. Right now it's writing gray. All right, it looks like it's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and put a little highlight in the black circles. Yeah, I goofed up. Oh, why did YouTube pop up? I don't know why YouTube just popped up, but I'm here. So, woohoo, food. Yeah, we'll go out and eat. I'm sure of that. I'm not sure why YouTube just decided to open itself over here. That's really weird. Okay, so see how just those little white marks on the black circles make them look three-dimensional. So it's awesome. Wonder where my other white pen is. When you have too many pens, you lose stuff all the time. All right, I'll fight with them later. But anyway, you get the idea. So something so simple as that, right? You like the TWSBI. The broad nib, yeah, that was another thing. It was a broad nib. It was really nice. And she has she put, I don't know, I would call it like amethyst ink in it. Ah, it was so desirable. But I need another pen like I need a hole in the head right now. So, all right, we're going on to another design. We're calling that one done. Let's pick out another one. Give me a letter of the alphabet. And pull out so you guys can see. Okay, Gina is a penholic. I can tell by the ink she's talking about there. All right, give me a letter of the alphabet. Hurry up, somebody. I'll take a sip of coffee here. And I've got about an hour and a half left. So, all right. Pinkcut said A, Jones said B. So let's go to the beginning. That one could be really good. A has a lot of designs, so we can look through them. For a border, I love this one. It's so easy to make that A and then turn it into like a very ornate fence. If you can see that, that's kind of a border one. This one would be a fill-in. Just looking. I forget how awesome they are. Angelfish is another really good border one that I love a lot. I'm looking for one that would fill in though. This one, Ansu, is really good for fill in. So is Antidots. Yeah, I like that one. Antique is awesome for a border. I should show you guys how to draw that one because that one is really, that one's so pretty. Arc Flower is one of my absolute favorites. Let's do that one for the fill-in. That or Antidots. Sometimes it's just so hard to decide because they're so cool looking. This one also with the lines. Let me show you. This one. Asian Fans. That one is really cool too. If you have a large space to fill up, very cool. I'm going to try to stay away from grids, but this one, the Anadots, it's just so cool. All right, we're going to do Art Flower. The fireball looking one at the right. The fireball looking one. Well, now I don't know which one, where I was when you hollered that out. Fireball looking one. You know you can pilfer through anything that's down here, Amy. Bye, Kenneth. Go have a good afternoon. Do something really fun. The fireball looking one. That one? The fireball looking one. This one looks like ants. Fireball. In the center. This one? That's ants. That looks like little ants. You want me to do that one? We could probably do that one. Is that the one you're talking about? Ants? Come on, focus, you freak. There, that might help. Come on, focus, you freak. Okay, so she said she wants ants. All right, let's do ants. Ants it is. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a grid. Just thinking the best way, because this does look like ants, the individual design. And I'm thinking if I did it on a grid, you know, like do 2 ants and then the center. Just thinking what I want to do. Hi, Brenda. Of all days to be late. Well, you can watch the recording later. All right, I'm just going to draw a grid real quick. And I'm going to do it out here. We'll do ants out here. So, try and get a straight line to start with. Now, this is the part that would make Eileen crazy, is put the damn ruler away. Sorry, no can do. Sometimes you just need a grid. Brenda likes to do Zentangle. You've been doing a lot lately, Brenda. I can't remember if I work on Instagram or where I see it, but you've been doing a lot. All right, there we go. We've got a grid. I'll pull you guys back down now, and we'll do our best to draw ants in a grid. Watching on a small screen, no big deal. All right. So they're showing this. I'm going to use my circle template just because I think it's a little bit faster. What did I do with my 03 pen? You know what? How can you lose something in like 2 seconds? I am the worst. I'll have something in my hand and I swear I can lose it in 2 seconds. Okay. Maybe that'll help keep us focused a little bit for you guys. Okay, and Pink Hunt's saying, hang on, I gotta close this guy. Can you put them under the peacock feathers? Oh, you mean in this space? Yeah, but I don't know why not. I'll just have to draw the grid again. No big deal. That's easy enough. And because all my spaces will be uniform, I'll be able to do the same number in between the grids, you know, so it will stay somewhat uniform. And you don't have to be, you know, you guys know that I'm kind of anal. You don't have to be this anal about it. Large items too, like you wouldn't believe. I do it all day, every day. I have, enjoying having days off. Things starting to open up again here. You'll be back to work soon, Brent? That's hard. All right. So let me use the template. Let me see. Which size do I want? Five 30-seconds. Hopefully this will work. If not, I'm going to be really sorry. Now this one doesn't have any shading, so I'm not sure how at the end I will end up shading it. We'll just wait and see. It could be that it won't have any shading at all. And I should be using this pen. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw all 4 circles around where my lines are intersecting. And you don't have to be this uniform. Just draw the lines and the circles and be done with it. This is all because I'm anal. I'm not kidding you. Oh, this is going to be funny because my grid probably isn't big enough. That's okay. We're going to make a design out of it regardless. Might be like a 2-butted ant. And I'm not paying attention if the circles are the same distance away. That is where I go, okay, whatever happens, happens. I'm good with it. Anal to a certain point. See, this to me is faster than if I had to agonize over where they go. No, you know what I mean? You need to have time blocks to art after things go back to normal. I agree, Brenda. I mean, I think that's one of those things that's kind of like taking time for you. If I had to go back to work, I would still pick some point out of every week, whether it was Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday night, where I just felt like, you know what, I can sit down and play with my stuff. And if nobody eats, ain't my problem. I do that already, and I have all the time in the world to do pretty much what I want. But there are some days your stomach ain't my problem today. You figure it out. And that's kind of getting worse the older I get, because I've spent a lifetime worrying about other people's stomachs. Which isn't a horrible thing. I mean, you get the benefits of that too, you know, you enjoy your family and stuff, but there comes a point where it's just like, I have worried about your stomach about all I need to. This is looking pretty weird. I'm liking it. Loose things I just had in my hand or on my table. Gina, you have no clue. It's ridiculous. I have things that I've lost that I've never found, which makes me think they either ended up in the trash or someday that safe place is going to be found and it's going to be like a freaking treasure trove. I'm not sure if this is going to work out or not because I don't have enough space. So we're going to do a two-butted. I'm going to do a circle, solid circle in between them. Now I've goofed up the design, so I'm going to make it up as I go along at this point, and that's fine too. There's going to be a lot of coloring in, so I think I'm going to move back to the Micron pen because it's going to be faster, a lot faster. Sorry if you can't see, I'm trying my best. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to make this one work. It's not going to look like the card, I know that. All right, right now, when I get a certain amount of this done, I'm going to go ahead and put in some of the smaller elements because I can come back and finish this and we can move on to another one. So we can kind of scope out the whole drawing at some point and you'll see what it's like. And then I'll post it to Instagram because next week I won't remember. I might, but I doubt it. To show it. Because I'll never get it all done. But I will finish it. And I can't watch chat right now, so just hang tough. Actually, when I looked over at the camera or the screen right now, it's actually looking pretty cool underneath the peacock thing. All right, let's go ahead and design. You will figure something out. You always do. Next time, just ignore it. Oh, pink hat, don't worry about it. This is how you learn. Make it into spiders. No, it's all good. I'm going to keep it much the way it is. I'm going to go ahead and draw the lines out from here. And then probably just echo around. I'm not sure how I'm going to shade it. See, I'm wanting to do something in the center of that, but I'm not going to. And rather than keeping those lines straight, I'm curling them, and that's cool. I don't mind that. Do you think in a week's time you're going to remember any of this? You're not. Okay, the thing is, all right, I'm going to go ahead and draw the line out here. I want to see like one whole quadrant done. So this would have a circle here. Because I'm trying to decide how to shade it. I know one thing I'm going to do. So this is an exercise in problem solving too. Nothing wrong with that. See, these, I could do the lines either way. Okay. That's going to go that way. So it is still pretty cool looking. I like it. You're going to make a flower looking thing because I don't have space in my grid. Whatever works, you figure it out. So this much, just pretend that the whole thing is this, because I'm not going to go ahead and finish all that. I'll go ahead and move on to another design here. One thing, I'm going to go ahead and make this recede with a shadow around the edge. And when I erase, I may have to redo this, but this will give you an idea of what it's going to look like. And I'm not sure what I want to shade in here is the thing, or just leave it like it is and just shade around the edge. But this whole section of the picture now, when I put this shading in around here, we'll go ahead and recede behind the peacock portion. And I won't do it along this edge until I figure out what we're going to do in there. I think in there I want something more, I didn't pull it out, but it was that one. You like it? Yeah, I'm going to like it when it's done. I'm going to go ahead and do art flower in there, in the one next to it. And this is another really simple one. You can do, just start with a circle anywhere in the middle of your space. Just like that. And then draw 4 little half circles like this, and then just start echoing them. And you can do it like in a continuous line. Just back and forth like that. Focus, you freak. And then where they join, go ahead and start doing that again. And I start with 3. I might add more. I don't know. This one goes really fast, but this one is really fun to shade. And again, depending on how big or small you're working, you know, I'm working pretty small. You don't necessarily have to work small like this. You could make this a lot bigger. And then, you know, less time. I like them small and intricate. You'd be surprised how quickly you can fill up space this way. Quiet. Sorry. But see how quick you could fill up the area? And this is a really, really cool design. My chat has quit working, I think, you guys. Or you guys just quit talking. Did I put everybody to sleep? Wake up. And don't let me forget to do the ink test before I'm done. As I work out now, I think I'm going to start making those bigger. There's Lena. Lena, I miss you so much. Hope everything's going good and you're enjoying your summertime away. I, for one, miss your worthless butt, but that's okay because I get it. Lena, were you here to see the facial expression book? Answer yes or no, because there's Lady Jan too. Hi. You're on Tuesday at 5 Eastern, right? Lena's taken some time off this summer. So yeah, she's normally on Tuesdays at noon Central, I think. but she's decided to take some time off this summer, and I get it. So doesn't mean I don't miss her terribly. I have to hang on. I need to look at chat and see if she was here for the facial. Okay, you did see the facial expression book. Isn't it amazing? And when I saw it, I thought of the wise ant, Lena. It was just like, oh my God, look at all these expressions that the wise ant could make. And see how I just skip around from place to place to place? Like there's no rhyme or reason. I don't know why I do that. That is baffling to me as much as anybody. I don't know why I do it. Balance, I guess. I don't know. Break. Need a drink. Oh, and another thing, Lena, I don't know if you saw Dee Dee this morning, but she did some CC Designs doodle this morning. It was really good too. So if you got some time, go watch Dee Dee. She does a CC Creations. And anybody who likes to doodle, I mean, that's kind of what started this whole thing today was Dee Dee working on that. But anybody who likes to doodle like this, and if you want to incorporate your watercolors, and you probably heard it all morning because a lot of you were at Dee Dee's, go check out CC Creations. She's very innovative. Her voice is so relaxing and awesome. But yeah, that's kind of what started this whole thing today was Dee Dee because I was gonna watercolor. But I don't care. I'm flexible. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and draw around the edge of it to distinguish the two sections. And then I can go ahead and finish that shadow. Now the shading on this one is pretty intricate, so I'll shade part of it and then I'll come back and finish it later. But anywhere that your lines join, like here in this, the V's, I go ahead and add a little bit of graphite. And if you don't necessarily have to add the graphite if your tortillon has enough graphite on it, you might just be able to go in and do the shading without even doing this part of it with the graphite pencil. I'm going to definitely shade all along the edges. right. But when this one is shaded, it is very cool. You definitely get the impression of dimension and depth. So I don't know how that sounds in the camera. I hope it doesn't sound too scratchy. But there's your free ASMR for the day. I saw that K-Bird asked for Zentangling. She's probably sitting with her Poscas right now. I imagine she is. She better be posting whatever she's working on. Okay, Gail. Go have fun. You need to watch Dee Dee. You were having your 2 Hillary classes. Dee Dee was good this morning. I like the CC Designs wisdom drawing that she did. That's another thing. Any of us could do that, you know, and obviously a lot of it's practice. You know, if you do something enough times, Cece's so good at it because she does it a lot, you know, and you can tell she loves it. That's another thing. I think if you're doing something you really enjoy, you just get better and better at it. So, you know, don't not do something because you're not good at it, because as you do it, you will definitely get better. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Nobody comes out an excellent drawer. They spend their time learning it and doing it. Can you see the depth in that now? I love this one. That's one of my very favorite Zentangles. I like the ants too. They're coming out pretty cool. Okay. We didn't get very much done, huh? All right, let's pick another design. Pick a letter, any letter. While you guys are doing that, I'll go ahead and work on ants over here. Even though it doesn't look like ants anymore. Oh, there would have been a circle here. We'll draw it in. I've seen people who did Zentangle on their tennis shoes. I always thought I would love to do that. Get a pair of white high top tennis shoes. And yeah, me too, Lena. Love her style. Okay, Barbara, I'm paying attention. Ask a question about the beast. I'm paying attention, girly. Okay, the McGill Ruiz calendar, does it come with all that color on it? Oh, no, 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 Barbara. No, let me show you what the beast looks like before I start working on it. This will deter anybody from starting their own beast. That is what a blank page in the beast looks like. This one is graph paper, but I have a template that measures out for me the spacing. And then I color in the headers with Neocolor 2s, and I just smear it around with a baby wipe. But I have this all spaced out. So, and then I use stamps for the days. And you can tell they're not perfect. I don't care. Or you can handwrite it, either one, but no. And then like this, while I'm watching TV, I sit and do that checkerboard. Oh, and I was going to show you guys a really easy way to do checkerboard too, if you like checkerboard. I'm a checkerboard fan, so yeah, it's graph paper and I do all that by myself. But you guys have to remember, I'm anal. I am anal that way, so and I can't sit and watch TV. I just can't do it. I never just sit and watch TV without doing something, either drawing. I used to knit. So yeah, I it's just the way I am. Now looking down here, I want this one colored in. So this is another thing. After I watch or look at it later, I might go in and make changes. So that one I just felt like it needed to be dark. Maybe for balance or maybe whatever. I don't know. Thanks, Barbara. Well, and yours doesn't have to be like mine. You know, you don't have to do the checkerboard. It's the checkerboard that takes so damn long. But when I'm sitting watching TV, I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that at all. It keeps me from going insane. And in fact, it makes me sit down because otherwise I can't just sit down. I have to be doing something. And I suspect I may be ADHD. I don't know. But just sitting is not in my nature. Never has been. I mean, that's not even something that is new. I think I've always been that way to a certain extent, where I was either putting together a jigsaw puzzle or doing a word puzzle or, yeah, crochet or knit. And if I've got time during the day, I go out and water, sweep the floor, wash the floor, sit down, draw. You know, I'm just busy, and I like being busy. And I used to cross stitch. I should get out my cross stitch and show you guys. Did you guys ever give me a freaking letter or not? Which one would I like to draw? That's probably what I ought to do. You know what? This bee light is really good. Let's do that one because that one's really simple too. And we don't have much time left. So let's do another grid pattern. Yeah, let's do it in this one since we've got kind of two random. Okay, and on that one, the bee light. And I think if you know, have a family and stuff like that, you've never probably had much time to sit. You know, like when I'd be off work, I didn't have time to sit. I had laundry to do. I had meals to cook. There was just always something to do. Okay, this one, I'm doing this one, the bee light. So it's a grid. I'm not going to use a ruler because the lines need to be curved. So I'm just going to do some curved lines. And obviously the distance between your lines are going to determine the size of your pattern, right? Try and keep them somewhat uniform, but I'm not too worried either way. Don't know why the pen just did that, but it did. Kind of splattered a little bit of ink. I don't care. You were going to do the checkered pattern? What checkered pattern? You have a question about the hot water bottle. What the hell hot water bottle are you talking about? Did I show a hot water bottle today? So just pick a corner now, any corner, draw. Hot water bottle. Now I'm starting to worry about my short-term memory. What the hell, hot water bottle? Probably easier to color in these dark areas with the Micron. Last week with painting. Last week with painting. Okay. First of all, I have to stop and think about what I did last week. This is one of those things I could look in the beast and see what I did. Are you talking about the art on the couch, hot water? Or it's not necessarily hot water, but that water container that I used for art on the couch? Because now you've really got me stumped. I have no idea what the hell hot water, but I don't even own a hot water heat bottle, I don't think. If we need hot water around here, you better just crawl your butt in the bathtub. That's the water keeper. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. It's actually an ice bag. Okay. What do you need to know about it, Barber? You want me to show it again? I can go get it easy enough. I use it on the couch all the time for watercoloring to clean out my brush. And I try and, empty the water out every few days if I've used it a lot. I got it at Dollar Tree. And actually, I cannot take credit for that. Piccola gets credit for that. She saw it at Dollar Tree and tweeted out a picture. I use it with both, Barbara. I use it with my water brush and just a regular paintbrush, either one. But yeah, I use it with both. But the nice thing about it is you don't have to worry about any spillage. Like it just sits so perfectly. Even the cat can't jack with it. And if the cat could jack with it, the cat would jack with it. Just saying. Because my cat is a nosy little wench. I don't know where she gets that from. Certainly not me. But yeah, if the cat could spill the water on the couch, the cat would do that. I think just because she'd like to hear me scream. But yeah, I just rinse my water brush out in it. And when I'm on the couch and I'm too lazy to go into the kitchen to get water, I fill my water brushes over it, like I'll hold it over that water thing and fill it with my water bottle because I always have a water bottle with me because I only drink coffee or water. That's all I drink. No soda, well, iced coffee, but I just count that as coffee. Now you're just echoing that design in the corner, right? And out here, just make it up as you go along. And this one, I don't think I shaded it. So this one you could shade a lot of different ways, actually. You could shade in between the lines and make it look like it was humpy, you know? Humpy, that's a funny word. So yeah, this one you could decide how to shade a lot of different ways. You could shade at the base of the filled in part. But just remember, wherever you add shading, it's going to look like it's recessed. And anything not shaded is going to appear to protrude. So when you're deciding what to shade or not to shade, just think in those terms. Do I want it to recess or do I want it to protrude? And then your shading becomes very, very easy. Looks like a pineapple. Kind of, yeah, it does. Maybe the coffee's... No, Barbara, I only drink decaf coffee, except if I get iced coffee from Sonic, then I get caffeine. But otherwise, no, I'm caffeine-free person. And we did that because of Robert. It was messing with his heart rate. So we went caffeine-free a few years ago, and honestly, some people said that getting off caffeine was the hardest thing they ever did. We didn't even notice. We were just like, whatever, go on. And when I drink caffeine now, I definitely notice it. I will say that. I definitely notice. It's not bad, but I notice when I drink caffeine. But yeah, I'm caffeine free. And I don't drink soda or anything like that. So I do drink a little bit of sugar in my coffee, but not enough, I don't think, to mess with me. I don't think. Hey, Scooby-Doo. All right. I'm going to make this one look like it's receding along the edge where the filled in part is. This one you could shade so many different ways. Got quiet in here. Now that looks like each layer is dipping into the one before it. Not much. I'm not so tiny anymore, CB. I put on poundage since you saw me. I think when you saw me, I was probably down around 103. I think I put on 15 pounds since then. So not happy, but it is what it is. And one thing I'll say is it's harder to take weight off the older you get. I've always heard that, and I will say it is the absolute truth. I like that one. That was a good choice there. 2 or 3. The shape of that just reminds me of a fish. Okay, I'm picking out another one. I'm going to, just because this is a real small shape here, and I'll break up this great big shape too probably, but I'm just going to, so that there's a place of just real dark somewhere, I'm just going to make circles. Like this Bronx cheer looks like a set of grapes. I'm going to do that just for this small shape here, just to fill it in. Just a pile of circles can also be very cool. Circles of different sizes can look very cool. Looks like pebbles on a beach or something. And I'm just doing this to fill in this little space. There's no point in trying to do like a real design in here. Or I could have just erased that line and just made it disappear completely. I mean, it's just what you want to do. It's your deal, man. But I think the thing is, and I think you'll learn this as you do it, it's the combination of the darks and the lights, you know, keeping it balanced helps. Have I seen Bridget Riley artwork? No, Ian, do I need to? Is that something I need to write down to look into? Bridget Riley. Look at, I found this under my computer. Lena, do you remember drawing that guy's face? That day you were drawing him? I drew his face on this little Post-it note. I was drawing along with you. And I don't know, it just got shoved under my computer. And yesterday or today, whenever I moved it, it was just like, holy cow, how long's that been under there? Bridget Riley is what I'm going to write down. I can't remember who that is. Okay, Ian, I wrote it down. Yeah, that looks familiar, right? You know exactly who I'm talking about. Okay, it's written down, Ian. That will get checked into. All right, here's another really cool pattern. I'm going to try and show you a few here that are really easy to do, that they look cool no matter where you do them. So here, that's ink splatter. I'm not going to worry about it. But here on the outside, can you guys see that pencil line there that goes all the way around? I'm going to go ahead and echo that and keep it about the same distance all the way around. And I'll probably only do part of it because you don't have to sit and watch me do that. But I'll show you some that are just really, really cool looking, that go fast. Good, well worth looking at. Okay, Ian, I always appreciate your recommendations for sure. Okay. Okay, so just like make a tube, because that's in fact what it is. It's going to be a tube. And we're going to make a barber pole. So just pick a place. I'm going to erase my line first. I don't know where my, there it is. Because I'm going to shade it and I don't want to have to go back and redo. So, and it doesn't matter that it's not even all the way, because after you get the design in it, you won't care. So then pick a place anywhere and start and draw a curved line around it. And just keep drawing that curved line. You can make them further apart, closer together. You can alternate, whatever you want. This one actually is called Barber Pole, and you'll see why in just a second. And honestly, anybody can do this. So make yourself a reference card, a reference book, something, so you can come back and find these again. And remind yourself that you too can draw. I'm going to go ahead and draw the lines, because right now I've got a rhythm going. And that's another thing, you know, you kind of get a rhythm going. And pretty soon you're just doing this mindlessly. You're not even thinking about what you're doing. You're just doing it. And then your mind can wander. And sometimes I think that's when I get my best ideas. Or if I'm pondering a problem or whatever. Now I'll pick one of these areas and I'm just going to color it in. And then you can leave as many lines as you want between here. I mean, you could alternate. I'm going to leave 2 lines between each of my colored in sections. Because what makes this one look so awesome in the end is the shading. And I'm going to do that next so you guys can see how this easy tube with just those curved lines in it really take on some dimension. This has been so easy today. What a nice treat. When you get in a big area like this, I would probably get out the 08 pen to go ahead and color it in. So it didn't take quite so long. Okay. But now that I've got that, I'm just going to go ahead and shade this part of it. And then the rest of it I can do later. Y'all don't have to sit around and watch that. Run some graphite along each edge. So I'm thinking about it right now, Robert. Is Fox coming over? Is he going to come hang with us? Robert Vaughn?
Oh, I'm sorry, you talking to me?
Yeah. Is Fox going to come over and hang with us sometime while he's here?
I think he's gonna come over one day.
Okay. Because otherwise I'd have to drive over and see him.
Well, we might do that too.
Okay.
I think he's staying in his camper over there by the store.
Oh, okay. Just going to clean up where I went outside of my lines a little bit. But can you see how the difference between that and how that little bit of graphite there gave it dimension? It's kind of amazing. And if you get too crazy with the graphite, just go down the center. And then if you have a white pen that works, if you recap your white pens and they actually work, which is always a bonus. White pens are the bane of my existence, I swear to God. Go along the tops of the black part that you colored in and just draw a line, just like that. Doesn't that look cool? Ah, focus, you freak. Such a pain in the butt. There, now you can see better. Doesn't it look cool? So it's just little tricks like that that you can, you know, and right here, it looks like where the two meet, where one just absolutely melds right into the next one. So I won't draw a line in there. I'll just let it look like it just melds right into that next design. So, yep. And it's a combination of things. It's a combination of the curved lines, the shading on the edges, and then that little bit at the top of the black just makes it look like, oh my gosh, that definitely has dimension. So just remember that. Sometimes add that white, little bit of white accent, and it's just like, holy cow, that looks way cool. So I will later go ahead and finish that. I won't make you guys endure that. Another really great design, a couple of them have just popped in my head that I thought, oh, you guys could do that so easy. Let me see. I think I know what it's called and make sure I'm going to do this right. Yeah, this one. I love this one so much. It's called Fishnet. So, I mean, you can draw the lines, whatever, to get the circles. It needs kind of a big area to look cool. But again, when you're doing this, try and think of the amount of dark areas versus the amount of light areas. This actually, unless you draw it real close together, gives you a big white area. So I've got a lot of white over here that unless I shade it differently or add something to it, it's going to be a big white area over here. So I think I want just to balance it, because I've got a lot of weight right here in the middle. I'll probably add this more weighty. So I think here in the middle, I'm going to go ahead and do the fishnet. Well, but that's pretty lightweight right there. Okay, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to alter my string and just add that. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the fishnet. And that's a pretty big area. Do I want it that big? The fishnet, to look really cool, though, does need a fairly large area. So, and see right now, this one is called Fishnet. or which one is, this one's called Barber pole. This one on this card is Fishnet. Ian's given an art lesson in chat and I can't see it. Okay, so you're still talking about Bridget Riley. She is one of the great modern art innovators of the 20th century. Okay, Ian, I will definitely be checking into her. What I started to say was, right now, because these are kind of in lines, I'm having a huge desire to get out a ruler and get them equal, but I'm not going to do that. But honestly, that's the one place where I think my OCD or whatever kind of gets in the way, is right now I want to get out a ruler and evenly space that. But for fishnet, it's not necessary. In fact, I think it's better if you don't, where you have some areas that are close together and some that are further apart. But that's one of the things right now. I'm itching to get out my ruler to do that, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm just going to jump in here. And make the circles however far apart, and they'll be random. And I'll try not to be too nervous about it. After it's done, the fact that it's not evenly spaced won't bother me. But while I'm sitting here planning and thinking about it, that's the sort of thing that would make me just uncomfortable. Not, it doesn't prevent me from doing it. It just makes me a little bit uncomfortable. No big deal. And I'm leaving the highlights. See, that one is definitely out of whack. That's okay, because it's going to make it interesting later. And that's what I've got to tell myself. That one won't have one. Yeah, there won't be any more out there, I don't think. A lot of times you just got to guess. So there's your grid. There's a giant worm gobbling up your work. There you go. All right, now just go about from the center of each of the circles, or more toward the bottom, I guess, and just draw a curly line, like an X. From one to the next. I'm having to think going off the page, so yeah, this one goes down there. So you can see how much white space is going to be left on this. Okay. And then on this one, if you want to make it look like the shadow, like it's above the shadow, I shadowed this one right on top of the lines where it looks like it's laying on something. If you want to make it look like it's hanging in the air, you would draw your, do your shading away from it. And if the further away the shading, the higher up it is away from the ground. Okay. So I'm going to make this one look like it's, and mostly this is just to fill up some of the white because it is such a white big area. But the further the shadow is away from the object, the higher up it's going to be. Just, that's a good rule of thumb. Okay. So can you see that, how it looks like it's up off the ground? If you do it right up next to it, it's going to mean it's touching. So if that would mean the sun is coming from up here. So just pick a side to go the other way. And then go back in and add your circles later. Wherever they meet, there'll be a circle, right? And that's the easiest way to draw your shadow on this one. And I think some of that you just learn as you do, you know? Oh, I didn't draw all the circles. You can go back in and do that later. This one's really, really messy, but it'll be fine. It's almost like a design within a design, you know. Nice thing is that if you goof up, it's graphite. You can just go back in and erase it later. Okay. This one I need a shadow on. I forgot this one. Okay. I will go ahead and finish this. Come on. Focus. You freak. Now, just to balance this out, because I've got, you know, this is kind of light in area. This is light in area. This is, you know, these areas are light. I probably will put something around this, probably more than one design that has a little bit more ink on it and makes it weightier. And there definitely will be something weighty on this side of it between these two. So that's kind of how I will choose the designs as I go along and finish this, and I will finish it. Okay, Lady Jan just said the design inside a design is called transcending. Very cool. Thank you, Lady Jan. I learned something. Same with making mandalas. I have to make all the shapes in one direction around the circle. Yeah, I think that's just our brains. Our brains are pattern machines, and they're not very good at it, but we do the best we can. So yeah, I'll go ahead and finish this, and yeah, we'll move on. But that's, yeah, so there'll be something really heavy and weighty along in here. And probably I might do a border around this one just to break it up. In fact, I think I will. So I hope you had fun and learned something. And I like that border here. That's probably my favorite thing that I did. And hopefully you got a few designs. If you want me to do it again, just speak up, because I do love doing Zentangle. I mean, I actually really enjoy the heck out of this, you guys. So, yeah. I appreciate you guys hanging with me for all this long time while I just doodled. I guess it's just a doodly kind of day, right? And yeah, I think that's all I got going on. So I appreciate you guys more than you know. Yeah, stay inspired, be kind. Me too, CB, thanks. Thanks so much, all of you, for being here. I really appreciate it. I really love you guys. Go have some fun and make some great art. How about that? And I'm getting out of here. My time's up. So appreciate you guys. See you. Bye. You're welcome.